These people are going to ruin my state. Texas is taking another L. More importantly, teachers, what are they doing? This has to be, between last year and this year, some of the worst times I've heard of when it comes to teachers taking advantage of the youth, taking advantage of little children, our babies, our teachers. And the faces that you guys see on the screen are just not the faces that you would expect to be taking advantage of your children in a sexual manner. But before we get to the story, let me warn you about my content. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And again, we're on lawandcrime.com, so thank you for the article. A teacher in Texas had at least 12 sexual interactions with one of her middle school students earlier this year. Let's pause right freaking there. Let's read that again. Let's really process that. And I want y'all to look at the face on my screen and understand that this would define a pedophile. You are looking at a pedophile. Now, while she's laying on these animals with her pedophile self like this, and then you're looking at her grabbing the trunk of this elephant with her pedophile self, it makes me wonder if she's violated some of these animals too. I just don't know. So if you guys are on the black web and y'all see her on there and want to expose her, make sure y'all call the FBI and call the police. Because I wouldn't put it past her if she was out here violating some animals. I'm just saying, I just don't think she's wrapped too tight. Her name is Adriana Marielle Rullan, Rullan, 27 years old, and she stands accused of sexual abuse of a child, middle school child, continuous victim under the age of 14 years old, improper relationship between an educator and a student, and indecency with a child, sexual contact, according to Webb County court records reviewed by lawandcrime.com. And again, it says her middle school student. The defendant previously taught and coached at Antonio Gonzalez Middle School in Laredo, a large border city just north of the Rio Grande that is a major Lone Star State trade and transit hub. She is no longer employed as an educator, clearly. According to an affidavit in a case obtained by the Laredo Morning Times, the parent of a 13-year-old boy became suspicious after he spent $133 at a local Academy sporting goods store. That's always a red flag when your kid shouldn't have a job at that age or come across some money. It's always a red flag. When initially quizzed by his mother and stepfather, the boy allegedly said he received the money from good friends. What good friends would a 12, 13, or 14-year-old have that have money like that? Good friends. Then the stepfather searched the boy's Cash App and found a series of transactions from a user with an image of a dog as their profile picture. Law enforcement identified that account as the defendant's, this person. While looking through the child's phone, and why is she hugging that elephant like that? I'm just sorry, just something just about her just don't seem all the way right. Not only with this story, but just makes you wonder. Her and animals, I just don't know. Law enforcement identified the account. While looking through the child's phone, the boy's stepfather also discovered a text message conversation labeled Adriana, containing pink heart graphics, the affidavit reportedly says. Those twin discoveries prompted the boy to run away from home, according to court document obtained by the Morning Times. After that, the boy's stepfather reportedly dialed the Adriana contact, and a woman answered the phone. After some time, the woman on the other end of the line allegedly identified herself as the 13-year-old's teacher. According to the affidavit cited by the paper, the defendant repeatedly offered to help the child's parent locate him, but the stepfather was ultimately able to do so on his own. Rulon, the teacher, allegedly called the boy's parents back on numerous occasions to discuss the situation. Sometime after that, in late November, the boy's parents filed a criminal complaint. Late in the afternoon on November the 27th, an investigator met with the principal of the middle school, who reportedly showed the investigator screenshots of text messages and Cash App transactions. And these are our teachers, man. Our teachers. In one text message, Rulon allegedly told the boy she thought she might be pregnant. Oh, my Lord. And you're telling a child this? What is he supposed to think? She's having sex with children. I think I'm pregnant. Like she's talking to a grown man. What is wrong with her? In addition, the principal also took pictures of images that Rulon had sent the boy, which included her in a bikini, underwear showing her breasts with hickeys, plus other compromising sexual pictures of her. The affidavit obtained by the Morning Times reportedly reads, Lord have mercy. After reaching out to law enforcement herself, Rulon met with the investigator on the morning of November 29th. She repeatedly denied that her relationship with the student was sexual. Somewhat I know I did wrong, the defendant allegedly said at one point during her interview when asked about the alleged sex, according to the affidavit. I've always been the type to put their needs in front of mine, and I just feel like this got carried away. That's a pedophile for you. The teacher's story took a similar tone, halfway contrite but still denying a crime when she spoke with the child's parents. I know I messed up, Rulon allegedly said in a conversation that was recorded. I am the adult person. I should have known better. Law enforcement, however, did not believe her. The text messages showed the teacher and the student engaged in sexual intercourse and sexual contact during school. During school on at least 12 occasions beginning August the 18th through November the 19th, according to an affidavit. The defendant was arrested by the United Independent School District Police Department on December 20th, jail records show. Why did it take a whole month? That's a whole month from November 19th to December the 20th. But nonetheless, she posted her $175,000 bail and was released later that day. Who posted bond for her? Who got her the money? It's your legal right. If you get the money and get out, fine. But still makes me wonder, on a teacher's salary, who put up that kind of money for her? On the same day Rulon was arrested, the school district where she worked released a vague statement referencing a former employee to Laredo-based NBC and ABC affiliate KGNS. The UISD has learned of the arrest of a former employee for various charges, the statement reads. USID promptly followed administrative and legal protocol and collaborated with UISD PD to investigate the serious allegations made against the former employee prior to the arrest. The former employee was placed on leave once UISD was made aware of the allegations. On the day the alleged illicit relationship between the student and teacher was discovered, the boy also tried to harm himself, according to the affidavit obtained by the paper. The 13-year-old was hospitalized and later admitted to a mental health facility. He's a child. and could have potentially taken his life behind this damn pedophile adult. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and we'll go from there. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I would love to see what y'all got to say about this. Please post something in that chat. Let me know what you think. Here we go.
Nobody wants to see their child in a situation like that.
A Texas middle school teacher was put behind bars on allegations she repeatedly had sex with one of her students, a 13-year-old. On December 20th, police arrested 27-year-old Adriana Ruyan in Laredo, Texas, on charges of sexual abuse of a child, improper relationship between educator and student, and indecency with the child.
But personally speaking, I've never seen this explicit of a relationship on paper described between a child and an adult.
Law and Crime spoke with KGNS news anchor and investigative reporter Brenda Camacho, whose station first broke the story. She says the arrest affidavit alleges shocking details, including Ruyan had sexual intercourse and sexual contact with the boy on a dozen occasions, even during school hours.
The text messages that were shown were from August to November, which is kind of when the case started to unfold. Just very detailed content that we were ourselves, our news organization, didn't feel comfortable airing to the public just from how detailed and explicit they were.
According to the UISD website, Ruyan was a teacher as well as 7th grade basketball and track coach at Antonio Gonzalez Middle School, which is a part of the United Independent School District known as UISD, the largest school district in Laredo. The school district reportedly was very tight-lipped on the investigation, never naming Ruyan as the teacher involved in the crime.
They sent a press release out to the media, basically referring to a case in which an employee of theirs was arrested.
I'm just curious, why, if she is a danger to children and a danger to this boy, why would they not put her name and face on this? I think, in my humble opinion, if this were a male teacher, his name, his image, and likeliness and all of his information would have been put out there on Front Street, in my humble opinion. I don't know if some of you people in the chat agree with what I'm saying or not. I just think that if it were a male teacher, his information would have been all out there. There would have been no hiding that. Why do I feel like they're not allowing that to come out? Why would other parents, students, not need to be concerned about who did this? They should absolutely know who was accused of doing this. Everybody gets their day in court, but you still put the information out there.
In that statement, they explained that they had done an investigation, that their police
pedophiles and potential pedophiles need to have all the information put out there, every bit of it.
Department performed the investigation and that the employee was let go over the course of them looking into it. So we kind of just went based off of that. We reached out to the district to ask for the name of the employee because we had not received any police reports thus far mentioning any sort of district employee being arrested. So the district told us since it involved a minor, they could not release any further details aside from the statement that was published. And so we had to do a little bit of digging ourselves.
The case came to light on November 27th when a UISD criminal investigator responded to the middle school after the 13-year-old boy's parents reported the allegation. The parents reportedly stated to investigators they became suspicious when the boy spent more than $130 at a local Academy sporting goods store.
It was the parents of that teenager who kind of spearheaded this whole case. They said that at the beginning of November of this year, they started noticing that the teen had a lot of money, disposable income to purchase things during a shopping spree. They asked him where he got that money, and to which he said he got it from, quote, good friends. And in the, I believe, days following that, the stepfather of the teen finally obtained his phone and went through Cash App. I believe that was the app where they saw the transactions, and they noticed a name, Adriana Ruyan.
Camacho explains, according to the affidavit, a deeper dive into the teen's phone revealed inappropriate text messages stored under the name Adriana with pink heart emojis.
Obviously, sexual content. There was also mentions of pregnancy. Ms. Ruyan in those messages allegedly points to the fact that she could have been pregnant on multiple occasions, even stating at one point, quote, this is from the affidavit, that it is difficult to get pregnant sometimes. So it could be assumed she could have been pregnant on multiple occasions. There was also mentions of pregnancy. Ms. Ruyan in those messages allegedly points to the fact that she could have been pregnant on multiple occasions, even stating at one point, quote, this is from the affidavit, that it is difficult to get pregnant sometimes. So it could be assumed that it was a very sexual relationship. At times, based off of the way it was explained, it seemed like they were having this sexual relationship on campus during school hours, in between classes, it seemed like. And according to the arrest affidavit, there was a mention of, well, there was a lot of evidence collected, of course, the teen's phone, as well as handwritten letters that were from allegedly Ms. Ruyan to the teen. That is what is alleged in those letters. And there was also a mention of a 9-month relationship in that specific letter and the want to get pregnant. According to the text messages, though, or according to the arrest affidavit, they assume that the relationship began in May, but it's possible it could have been longer. But what we do know is that in November, it is when it ended due to the stemming of this investigation.
The discovery of the text messages by his family even prompted the young teen to run away from his home. His stepfather reportedly contacted the number on his phone listed as Adriana, and at some point during their conversation, she admitted to being the boy's teacher and even requested to go to their home to help assist his parents in finding the boy, who was eventually found physically safe.
Still during that time, Ms. Ruyan continued to call and call and call, wanting to stop by the house and explain herself. Consistently, you kept saying that she was admitting to doing wrong, but it was mentioned in there that she admitted to the father that there was no sexual relationship, according to the affidavit.
When the allegations were made public, it's been reported that the teen became emotionally distraught and devastated. He's since received professional medical care to cope with this overwhelming situation.
He did express the need to, or the want to hurt himself because of his expression of self-infliction or wanting to impose self-infliction. He was taken to the hospital, and from that point on, it was mentioned that he was taken to a mental health facility.
Police say Ruyan continued to make calls to the teen's phone to request to go to their home in attempts to explain herself, but the teen's parents decided to file a criminal complaint. On November 28th, Ruyan called investigators to meet in person, but she denied that her relationship with the boy was sexual, despite text messages and photos over the course of 2 months.
I'm sorry. She's trying to come to the house. Ooh. Let that be my daughter's mom. Look, I'm not advocating for fighting, but I'm just saying, there's a good likelihood you would have had the fight of your life on your hands if you would have showed up to our house after sexually violating our child many, many times. And then talking about multiple pregnancies. Are you serious? Where are the ladies out there that would defend their kids, that would defend their sons, that would stand up for your children, that would stand up for your little boys? Who will cry for the little boy? Huh? That is, I think vile is probably the perfect word. And thank you for posting that. That is flat out vile. And that's an encounter that woman wouldn't have survived if you would have came to my house. Ooh, no, 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 no. They did the right thing. They handled it legally. They probably thought some things. You violated our son, and now our son is mentally messed up, and he wanted to hurt himself because of what you did to our kid when you were supposed to be teaching, and here you are sexually violating him. Man, no, no, no.
Allegedly proving otherwise.
During the police interview with United ISD, she explained that she was in the wrong, but that she has a tendency of wanting to help others. And when asked if it was sexual, she denied that to the officer. But she did say that she was let go and she understood that the reason was because of the situation.
In a recorded conversation with the teen's parents, Rihanna admitted she had done something wrong, stating to them, "I know I messed up. I'm an adult and should have known better."
And aside from her saying that she knows she's done wrong, she also said that she's seen instances like this happen and she never thought it would happen to her.
Over the course of this year alone, Law and Crime has reported on more than a dozen cases involving teachers having sexual relationships with their young students. In Tennessee, former fourth grade teacher Alyssa McCommon was arrested twice, accused of having sex with a now 15-year-old. She's reportedly pregnant with his child. McCommon is charged with rape of a child and illegal contact with a victim. In Las Vegas, former teacher Caitlin Glover was arrested for lewdness with a child after she allegedly engaged in a sexual relationship with the student for 4 years. The victim told police Glover would send them explicit messages and perform sex acts. And in Missouri, a teacher who used to be a special education teacher is accused of sending a 16-year-old student nude photos of herself on Snapchat. The victim told police Ricky Lynn Laughlin also tried to pressure him into having sex. All suspects here say they're not guilty. But is this a common problem in Laredo, Texas? Camacho explains not necessarily.
I can't say that as far as cases that are out in the public eye, you don't see these cases as often here in town. I honestly can't even remember the last time we had a case like this much in the spotlight anytime soon. Probably more than a year ago, if I could pinpoint a time. First, I wouldn't say that these types of cases are frequent, but it's also safe to say that it's possible that these aren't as frequently reported. It's my understanding that word was starting to.
I'm going to pause this right here, and I want y'all to take a look at this. Just think about this for a second. These are all educator teachers from what they are describing these people as. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These are just 11 that they know about for sure. This is probably, I don't know how recent or how far back some of these are. It would be, for me, it'd be too many teachers if it were one. This ain't one incident. And this is continuing to happen. And I've actually got more stories, even just on the stories that are already on my channel. And this keeps happening. These people keep getting caught and they still keep doing. So even the fear of getting caught and doing prison time and ruining your career, ruining every little shred of respect that you could have, that doesn't sway them from doing any of this. I don't understand what attracts you to underage children. I don't understand that. But at this point, all it can do is just be punished. She needs life in prison, because if this were a man, he would get life in prison for violating a child. What if a grown man got a child in school, his middle school student, pregnant? Y'all would have said he needs life in prison. Well, I think she needs life in prison too. Like you don't cure this type of mentality. You don't rehab this type of mentality. Child predators cannot be rehabbed. So don't look at the face, don't look at the person, look at the actions and judge the actions accordingly. Straight up and down like that. That's how you fix this. Keep that boy in your prayers. Keep that family in your prayers as well, okay? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you.